won the toss and elected to receive, so Colton Netton will kick off, and Jordan Canzeri is back deep for the Hawkeyes. Gorgeous day, the temperature around 60 degrees under beautiful blue skies and very little wind to speak of as we begin. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay's down on the sideline. Delighted to have you with us. Iowa State is 0-2. Iowa 2-0. Netton kicks it off to the 5-yard line to Jordan Canzeri. Weaving along the far numbers and down at the 26. So Iowa begins 1st and 10, led by Jake Rudock, second year starting quarterback from Weston, Florida in South Florida. Now a junior. Had a big week in their come from behind win here last week against Ball State when he threw for a career high 322. He was great down the stretch. Went 9 for 11 on their last 2 drives, both of which resulted in touchdowns. They rallied from 13-3 down to win. Mark Weissman gets the first carry of the day and goes ahead for 2. Jevin Miller made the stop for Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa's a team offensively that is searching for their identity, and that's running the football. You'll see Weissman, they want to get him on track, and to quote the coaches, get him lathered up. The problem I was having, Sean, is Jake Rudock, as you just mentioned, is this team's leading rusher, which doesn't bode well for an Iowa offense.
It felt like Weissman got banged up early last year and then wasn't as effective late in the season, so they tried to minimize his exposure early in the year. But as a result, they really haven't found a rhythm in the running game, and they don't have one there either, as Corey Morrissey dropped Weissman for a loss back to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Well, the quickness of the Iowa State defensive line is winning the battle against the massive offensive line of Iowa. They get penetration, forcing Weissman to bounce, allowing the pursuit to catch him from the backside.
Damon Bullock comes in on 3rd down as the running back, good receiver and pass protector. He's on the right hip of Rudock, who took the shotgun snap and takes off running. As Chris said, he is a running threat, and he got about 8 there, but he's still 2 yards short of the first down. Drake Birch made the stop for the Cyclones, and a good start for ISU on defense. They force a 3-and-out.
Yeah, especially on the road in a rivalry game. You start your defense, that gets the offense pumped up, and the defense gets excited coming out for the next series.
Jarvis West back for the punt, second in the country in punt return average, in large part because of the 82-yarder for a touchdown last week against Kansas State in Ames. He calls for a fair catch of the Dylan Kidd punt, and he made it at the 20. Good kick by Kidd, 49 yards. Crowd making noise, trying to make it difficult for Sam Richardson and the Cyclone offense as they take the field for the first time. Redshirt junior out of Winter Park, Florida, opens in the gun. Design roll to the right, and an on-target throw out to the 27-yard line. Dondre Daly the catch. First down, gain of 17.
A good job by Richardson letting this play develop. It's a high-low pattern. The tight end's in the flat and Ebbs. And Dante finding the spot, sitting it down. The ball well placed, low and behind.
They marked it on the 26. Looked like they shorted him by about a yard. 16-yard gain. Aaron Wimberly, the running back. Richardson faked it and went ahead for about 3. Sam Richardson, like Jake Rudock, is his team's leading rusher, and neither team wants the quarterback to be the rushing leader. Threw for 185 in their loss last week to K-State. That was a big disappointment. They were ahead 28-13 and wound up losing 32-28. Wimberly to the 33, perhaps the 34. Let's welcome in Todd McShay.
I think he's the big play specialist. Jarvis West reminds me a lot of Dexter McCluster. He's an offensive weapon. He can beat you throwing the ball, which is a surprise, in the return game, as you talked about, but also as a slot receiver. This guy's very explosive, and Iowa's trying to limit the big plays today.
West off the field on 3rd down and 3. 2 tight ends into the ball game for the Cyclones. Option look. Wimberly dumped for a loss. John Loudermilk, the veteran senior safety out of Carrollton, Ohio, with an outstanding play for a loss of 2.
And playing the option football, it's all about discipline. Nate Meyer, number 34, the defensive end, does a good job of stringing out the play and coming from the alley. Loudermilk comes up and makes a perfect form tackle, wraps his arms, forcing the kick for Iowa State.
Colin Downing, a true freshman, on to punt. And Matt Vandenberg is back deep for the Hawkeyes, standing at his 28. Ooh, Vandenberg got run into as he tried to field it along the near sideline, and Iowa State's going to be penalized.
Kick catching interference, number 8 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul.
If they take the shot downfield right there, Lynn has got to have the control to pull off of that, seeing a returner come into his field of vision. A good opportunity for Iowa right now. And perfect. If you're Iowa State, you're thinking, if you're Wally Burnham, defensive coordinator, you want to play it safe because it could be a shot over the top in this type of field position.
There's kick catch interference, and then there's that kind of kick catch interference.
Yeah.
There's Wally Burnham, the Iowa State defensive coordinator. His team's had a lot of trouble stopping the run. They get to Rudock, who throws incomplete. He tried to throw on first down, and he got hit by Mitchell Myers, the defensive end.
A 3-step drop, you got to get rid of the football. I mean, he had time to throw that, and your offensive linemen, a 3-step drop, aren't going to sustain the blocks as long. Get rid of it. That's on Rudock. That's not on the offensive line.
See the big left tackle, one of the best in the country, Brandon Sheriff. He is playing today, injured a knee last week against Ball State. There was some question during the week, but he did practice, and he is playing. Tavon Smith running the reverse, and he did well to get back to the line of scrimmage. This is a rivalry game, and it has a history of a lot of trick plays. There's Sheriff, one of the top offensive linemen of the country. Todd McShay has him ranked number 2 among tackles, and we'll get more from Todd about Brandon in a moment. But it's big for Iowa that he is able to play.
Yeah, he's a powerful guy, especially in the run game.
3rd down and 9. Bullock again in as the 3rd down back. He goes out and catches the pass over the middle and has a first down. That was easy. On 3rd and 9, they get 14. Luke Knott made the tackle for Iowa State.
Well, one of the things is that Rudock is getting a pre-snap read. By getting a pre-snap read as a quarterback, you're already able to eliminate receivers. He knew the check down was there, allowed the patience for the linebackers to drop, bump it to the guy with skill, let him get the first down.
Bullock stays in now as the tailback. Play action pass. Rudock dumps it over the middle to Weissman, and he gets belted forward. Got 8. Alton Meeks, Devlin Cousin made the tackle for the Cyclones.
Yeah, early on, Sean, Jake, to me, he looks like he's poised in the pocket. Doesn't panic, keeps his feet in balance, and is able to go through his progressions and take the easy 5 yards if it's there. That's a sign of a quarterback maturing and growing up, and the difference from last year to this year is that skill.
Rudock throws for a first down. Tavon Smith couldn't break the tackle of Nigel Tribune, but it is a first down for the native Canadian from Toronto, now a junior at the University of Iowa.
Well, this is just good recognition on Iowa's offense as part of seeing the soft coverage, and you're going to check out of that whatever play you have into a 3-step drop, run a little hitch, and you'll take that all day long.
Rudock, plenty of time and plenty of running room for Damon Bullock. Upended as he crossed the 15. Luke Knott made the stop. Help from Sam Richardson in the area. Gain of 19.
You're playing zone, and you have to cover zones. That time the Cyclone defense had 2 linebackers in the middle of the field. Jake Knott was way out of position. He has to work to the curl to the flat to be able to break up on that football.
2 tight ends for Iowa. Typical Iowa drive that we're used to seeing in the past, not so much this year. Ball control, mix of the run and pass. Weissman carried down to the 10. Kawan Floyd, a backup safety, made the tackle. You would have to think, Chris, that Iowa will really try to hammer the run today. Iowa State's given up 267 yards per game on the ground in their 2 losses to North Dakota State and Kansas State.
Well, they have to, and not only for that reason, because they think they can exploit the Cyclones. That's who they are, and that's their identity.
They stick with the 2 tight ends and the power run with Weissman, who has a first down inside the 5. Went down as he tried to avoid the tackle from Kawan Floyd. 1st and goal for the Hawkeyes.
Well, this is called a stretch lead play. The fullback is going to lead, and Weissman has the ability to cut up wherever, and what you're seeing is the push by the offensive line, Todd.
And Chris, I've been really impressed with the play calling by Greg Davis, offensive coordinator. The balance here and getting the young quarterback Rudock in a rhythm early on. They talked about tempo being so important.
Weissman down to the 2. Well, they need to settle on a primary ball carrier in their first 2 games. Weissman had the most carries, but he only had 16. Last year in the game against Iowa State alone, he had 35 carries. Well, they want him not to get dinged up early in the year. They also realize they need to get him more into a rhythm. And the offense as a whole. 2nd and goal from just inside the 3. Weissman with blockers out in front. He stumbled down. He would have scored, but he just tripped on this field turf and went down back at the 4-yard line. He was going to walk in untouched.
That's why he's going to be a fullback in the NFL. And you can see sometimes when you get a big hole like that, or you see all that green in front of you, you get eyes going and your brain starts working faster than your feet. And the result is that a good tackle by the 5-yard line.
Could be a huge play. Now it's 3rd and goal, the 15th play of the drive. With Rudock in the gun, they bunch 3 receivers to the left. Tried Bullock on the inside run, and he's down to the goal line, but not in. And the crowd immediately letting Kirk Ferentz know that they want Iowa to go for a touchdown. It appears they will.
Now you can see right here he's very close and is short, and I agree with this call, Sean. You're at home, it's a rivalry game, you want to get something going, your fans into it, and if you don't get it, you certainly have the Cyclone offense backed up in horrible field position. Great call, try to punch it in.
Yeah, you have the veteran offensive line, the powerful running back. You're playing a team that's had all kinds of problems stopping the run. This is clearly the right play, and it results in a touchdown for Mark Weissman. Mick Ellis will add the extra point. The freshman up and good. Talk about a typical Iowa Hawkeye drive. That was it. 9 minutes and 54 seconds to go. 45 yards, 16 plays, as Todd pointed out. A very nice mix of the run and pass. So Marshall Kane will kick off. He has a strong leg. And it'll be a touchback. Just the 2nd possession of the quarter for Sam Richardson and the Cyclones. Devondrick Neely, the running back, as they spread the field with 4 wide receivers. Richardson ran out of time, got it off for a gainer out to the 30-yard line to Dondre Daly. He got 5. Reggie Spearman, the tackle for the Hawkeyes. The Cyclones go quickly. Swing pass to P.J. Harris, and he has a first down before he got ridden out of bounds by Desmond King.
P.J. has a lot of speed for the Cyclone receivers, and they want to try to get him the ball in space. Jarvis West, excellent block on Bo Bauer. He does it all, Sean. Runs, passes, catches, and throws a block for his buddy.
Jarvis West, part of the 3 wide receivers to the right. He's in the middle of those 3. Inside run, Devondrick Neely. An 8-yard gain as we tick down to 2 minutes left in a fast-moving first quarter.
Like their counterparts, they've been struggling running the football. They feel like both Wimberly and Neely can get it done if they can get a little more push on that offensive line. But also, those running backs have to be responsible for making the 8th man in the box miss. They're doing a better job of it, and they think they both have the skill.
Sam Richardson, the ball carrier. He has the first down. Bo Bauer made the tackle. Here it's 7-0 Iowa. We're late in the first quarter. P.J. Harris the catch there for Iowa State. He crosses midfield to the Hawkeye 46. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2. John Loudermilk made the tackle. Both teams punted after their first possession. And then on Iowa's second possession, they had a nifty drive. They went 16 plays. 9 minutes and 54 seconds to score a touchdown on a 4th and goal and a 1-yard run by Mark Weissman. Devondrick Neely carries for Iowa State, and Reggie Spearman made the tackle. It's another first down for the Cyclones.
And to summarize, Iowa's come out and established both the run and pass game, but really their focus was getting Mark Weissman and feeding him the football. They're doing a good job of that. The offensive line is doing it, and Iowa State has a nice little mix going with a little run and a quick passing game.
Sam Richardson zips one for a short gain to the 39. Devondrick Neely the catch. Quentin Alston, the middle linebacker and leader of this Iowa defense, made the tackle on what will likely be the final play of a very fast-moving first quarter. The end of the first quarter. Iowa leads 7-0 on the second touchdown of the season by the senior Mark Weissman. Sold out Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa. More than 70,000 fans on hand to watch the 62nd meeting in this great in-state rivalry. Really, the entire state stops today. Either you're a Cyclone or a Hawkeye in this state.
It's my first Cyhawk game, and the one thing I noticed, and this is true with all rivalry games, the pads crock a little louder. Guys are hitting and flying to the football, and this is a physical football game, which we expected to see.
It is Iowa leading 7-0 as we go to the second quarter, but Iowa State is on the move. Cyclones 0-2 on the year, lost to North Dakota State in their opener, and then lost last week to Kansas State, a top 20 team, and they blew a 15-point lead in that one. Sam Richardson's pass is batted down. Drew Ott, who was the defensive player of the week in the Big Ten last week rather, for his great performance against Ball State.
Over here is Drew Ott, number 95. The thing I love about smart defenses and defensive ends know if they can't get there to try to get in the throwing lane, and that's exactly what he does.
First incomplete pass for Sam Richardson. Both he and Jake Rudock are 5 for 6 passing. On 3rd and 6. He can run. He does run, and he has a first down. Chased across the boundary by Greg Mabin. But they keep the drive alive on the scramble by Richardson.
Yeah, poise in the pocket has been his biggest improvement. Right there, Iowa loses Contain. Contain is an outside defender that has to force the ball inside. He does a good job of reading it and making a decision to get to the sticks to keep the chains moving.
Sam's a redshirt junior from Winter Park, Illinois. Second leading rusher last year is their leading rusher this season. Is it to Devondrick Neely? Down to the 28-yard line. Mike Hardy made the tackle.
You know, guys, we talk all the time about the zone read option, the triple option, now in college football, the quadruple option, but the simplest form is the run-pass option with a mobile quarterback. Sam Richardson on that last play picks up the first down because he optioned off that cornerback. The cornerback stuck with the receiver. He gets the first down. We're going to see a lot of number 12 running the football today.
Richardson zings one down the sideline, incomplete. His intended receiver, Tad Ekby, was running out of bounds. With Jordan Lomax in coverage, it'll be 3rd down and 7, and this is right on the edge of what Paul Rhodes told us was the range for his kicker Cole Netton. Iowa State has not attempted a field goal in the first 2 games plus this year.
I think Paul trusts his offense, and remember, Iowa's a tough defense, especially in the red zone, because they do not like the blitz. They like to just rush 4. Now they could change it up here to give Richardson a different look.
12th play of the drive for the Cyclones after the 16-play touchdown drive for the Hawkeyes. Richardson throws incomplete, intended for Neely, and he was hit just a fraction early by Quentin Alston. And that'll keep the drive moving for Iowa State. So they pick up the flag for pass interference. That brings up 4th down and 7. So here's the first field goal attempt of the season for Cole Netton, whose career long is 41 yards. And this one is good. So a new career long for the sophomore from Ankeny, Iowa, 47-yarder. And Iowa State is on the board. Paul Rhodes upset on the far sideline. He wants an explanation about the flag they picked up. We'll try to find out about that when we come back. They did kick their first field goal of the year on their first try, and then Cole Netton has a touchback. Jordan Canzeri is in at running back. For the most part, they've gone with Weissman and Bullock. Rudock pulls it down, takes off running. Nice cut. Only got about 6 before he took a hit in the back from Luke Knott.
One of Jake's strengths is his decision making. That last series, finding the open receiver and hitting it. And the other thing Jake needs to do is needs to learn to slide feet first. We're seeing this all over college football. In the NFL, guys just don't know how to slide. The last thing you want to do is duck your head, because then your head becomes the target. Lead with your feet on your slides.
Well, he's a smart guy. He's a pre-med major. As Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, said yesterday, he's taking classes that I can't spell. Jordan Canzeri waves his way through the defense to the 39-yard line, and a first down. Darius White made the tackle for Iowa State, a gain of 9.
An underappreciated skill for running back is vision. Right there, Jordan Canzeri saw nothing was there at the point of attack, trusted his line to cut off the backside, make a good jump cut to get positive yards.
Jake Rudock to throw on first down, down the middle, and caught by the tight end, Ray Hamilton. Good call by Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, and a good call by Chris Spielman. They're on target for 33.
It's what they are. It's who they are. Their tight ends are always part of their offense, and when they're in 12 personnel, that's 1 back and 2 tight ends. The defense's alert goes up. Well, this is run, run, run. But Greg Davis switched it up and exploited the coverage with a great read again by number 15, Jake Rudock.
He's 7 for 9. He's gone over 3,000 yards for his career passing now, the 11th Iowa quarterback to do that. Devontae Martin Manley picked his way down to the 24-yard line. Corey Morrissey made another tackle. He's off to a terrific start this season. He was honorable mention All Big 12 last year.
He is a good player. I mean, he really is a solid defensive end. And the difference with a lot of these guys for both Iowa's defensive line and Iowa State's defensive line, there's not a lot of substituting. We don't see that very often today's day and age of college football. They're Ironmen for both sides.
2nd and 5. Mark Weissman, nice cut back to the right. He appears to have another first down at the 18. Darian Cotton made the tackle for the Cyclones. His brother Jordan was on the Iowa team last year as their leading kickoff return man, and their dad Marshall played at Iowa State.
He's into this rivalry.
Excuse me, played at Iowa.
Well,
Marshall and Jordan both played at Iowa. So I wonder who they're cheering for today, their alma mater or their son and brother.
Whoever wins, be a front runner.
Damon Bullock couldn't turn the corner. Nigel Tribune up from his cornerback position.
You know, Iowa doesn't have the speed at their tailbacks or the explosiveness to run outside. Where are you effective? Do what you do. There's right up the gut. Here we come. Get behind 68 and follow him. Inside, not outside.
Iowa State 0-2, and Paul Rhodes said the biggest problems that needed to be fixed were along both lines. They've had a hard time stopping the run, and they've had a hard time running the football. Iowa's rushed for just 52 yards so far. Damon Bullock again. Alton Meeks made the stop.
Paul talked about how he had to dismiss 2 defensive tackles this year, and that certainly has hurt the Cyclone front 4. In fact, he called them NFL caliber type players.
And David Irving and Rodney Coe both dismissed for off the field issues. And he said it definitely hurt that defense, but as a head coach, those are the tough decisions you have to make. 3rd down and 8. They are in field goal range, but they've had all kinds of field goal problems. Bullock carries for no gain. The crowd didn't like that call. Jevin Miller made the tackle.
I don't like the call either. I mean, I get it a little bit, but play to win. You can exploit the matchups with your big tight ends. You like your receivers outside. You got a quarterback that's in rhythm and hot. Let him go throw.
Well, this might be a statement about how little confidence they have in the 2 kickers who have attempted field goals this year in a combined 2 for 6. They're going for it on 4th down and 8. Jacob Hillier goes in motion. 3 wide receivers. Rudock, lots of time, running out of time, throws, and it is caught in traffic for a 1st down to the 6-yard line. Terrific catch by Hillier. 4th catch of the year for the junior from Somerset, Texas.
Knowing where you are on the field, Rudock does a great job of not crossing the line of scrimmage, showing like he's going to run, pulls back, and has the poise to deliver the football, Todd.
And Chris, resetting his feet too. You talked about the confidence he's showing this year compared to what we saw a year ago. It's night and day.
Sam E. Richardson, one of 2 Sam Richardsons on that team, had the coverage, and he's lucky is Rudock that Sam Richardson didn't pick it off.
Sam E. is kicking himself because he does not go for the slant. He's reading Rudock's eyes. Rudock does a mistake by staring his guy down all the way, and from the corner position, jumping the flat route. You got to make a play in a rivalry game when you have that opportunity.
Well, he's a junior. He doesn't have a career interception, and that might be why. 2nd and goal. 10th play of the drive. Their touchdown drive was 16 plays. 5 tackles already for Corey Morrissey. Option for Rudock. He keeps it and scores. Flag down on the play. Back at the line of scrimmage.
Here the umpire, quick indication of holding.
Holding. Number 93, defense. The penalty is declined. The play resulted in a touchdown.
We'll get a lot of those Sean holding calls because his job is to keep linebackers clean and to force a double team to stay on him. Take a look at number 93, Jensen. He's inside, and he's holding and spinning around Jordan Walsh, 65, and what a good athletic play by Rudock. Running the option, making the right read to keep it and score.
Mick Ellis, the freshman, kicks the extra point. He's taken over from Marshall Kane, who was the starting place kicker at the beginning of the year. Pretty even half. Total offense 173 for Iowa, 146 for the Cyclones, but they made that key mistake late in the half on the fumble. Here's Todd.
Coach, your offense has been moving the ball but struggling to finish drives. What do you work on in terms of halftime for the next half?
Not fumbling. You're an inch away. You can't do that. You got to punch it in there. Go in down 14-10 with the ball to start the second half. We're going to need Devon McNeely in the second half. He knows that. He'll come back with the right attitude.
All right, thanks, Coach.
16 tomorrow. What a fantastic Sunday. 16.
Halftime scores: Iowa 14, Iowa State 3. Let's send you back to Reese Davis, Mark May, and Lou Holtz. It's the Lexus halftime report. From Iowa City, Iowa, Kinnick Stadium sold out. It's the battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. The in-state rivalry, Iowa State and Iowa. The Hawkeyes lead at the break, 14-3. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, delighted to have you with us, and rejoined in a moment by Todd McShay. What's your main takeaway from that first half?
Well, Iowa controlled the football. You saw 21 to basically 10. Now, if I'm Paul Rhodes, I go to Mark Mangino, my offensive coordinator. We've got to get the ball into the hands of Jarvis West. One catch, and it was an explosive play. I think for Iowa State to be their most effective, he's got to be involved in the second half part of the offense.
They moved the ball, did the Cyclones, but had a couple of key mistakes that really hurt. Good kickoff by Marshall Kane through the back of the end zone. Throws to P.J. Harris, who steps his way out to the 38-yard line, where he ran into Quentin Alston. And Harris signaling to the sideline that he's hurt.
P.J. is one of their speedy receivers, and Quentin Alston from his middle linebacker position. You see that just falling on the back of his legs to get him down. Number 8, DeVario Montgomery, coming in to replace P.J. Harris.
2nd down and 7. Sam Richardson throws, and it is caught across midfield. First catch of the season for Brett Metters, redshirt junior from Westlake Village, California.
Well, I love the throw because the ball's in the air before he makes his cut, and he trusts his guy to go make the play. And this is the classic definition of throwing him open. Throw to the space and let him run to the football.
Richardson now 12 out of 19 for 132. Neely, the ball's out again. His second fumble. The first one came into the end zone at the end of a 74-yard drive when it looked like they were going to score and make it a 4-point game. Jamison Locke, the left guard, bailed him out.
You want to lose carries, you want to lose playing time, you drop the football. That's the way it is. Right here again, he's got 2 hands on the football, but Jordan Lomax coming in with power, knocking it out. That's twice he's fumbled with 2 hands on the ball, so he's trying, just not executing.
They bring a blitz after Richardson, and the screen was set up. They couldn't execute. Looked like a pretty good call, but the offense didn't execute. Aaron Wimberly, the intended receiver. 3rd down and 12.
It was a right call against the right defense, Sean. They run the screen away from the blitz. They had a wall white set up for that sideline screen. You got right there Jarvis West matched up on Bo Bowers. You got the speedy West versus the linebacker Bowers, number 41 in the slot at the top of your screen. Right there.
2 out of 5 on 3rd down. Richardson pressured in the pocket. Goes on the run. West has it, but he's short of the first down at the 48 of Iowa. 10 yards short. And the punting team comes on for Paul Rhodes. 12-yard gain. Jordan Lomax and Reggie Spearman made the tackle.
So now what you have to do is play field position. And the defense, it's vital to get your offense back on the field to get a 3 and out. They started the game very well on defense. Now they need to start the second half that way to get their offense in position to make something happen.
Colin Downing punts. Good coaching there. They put Desmond King back as a short man in front of Vandenberg over by that sideline. He caught it, probably saved Iowa some yardage. Here it's 14-3. Iowa leading Iowa State in the battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. 3-man rush, and then Rudock throws an interception. The first takeaway by the Cyclone defense this year. T.J. Mutcherson with the pick. And Iowa State's in business at the Hawkeye 32.
2 things here, Sean. The ball gets away from Rudock, and the receiver falls down. Richardson is in perfect position to break on the football. Protection is solid. The ball gets away from him a little bit, then the receiver trips and falls. Richardson right there where safety should be. And good coverage underneath by Drake Furch to force the overthrow.
A takeaway, the first of the year for Iowa State in the third quarter, their third game of the season. Can they capitalize? Richardson out in the flat, caught by Alan Lazard. Quentin Alston made the tackle, and they'll come quickly to the line.
You know, they might want to go back to that play because he had his tight end E.J. Bibbs wide open in the middle of the field. Now he came off of his read just a little quick, made a good throw, good decision, but that's something you bank if you're an offensive coordinator.
Interesting to see if the shadows will be a problem at all for these receivers, covering almost half the field now, the near side of the field. No problem there for Wimberly out of the backfield. Quentin Alston made the tackle, but he's down at the 8-yard line. First and goal, Cyclone, 17-yard gain.
All about matchups. The protection's good, but you're putting Wimberly on Alston in open space. And Alston's strength is not his one-on-one coverage, and that's just a mismatch that they exploited.
They haven't scored in their first 2 games this year in the second half at all. Big reason, obviously, why they blew the lead last week at home against K-State when they were poised to have a great upset win. Swing pass. Wimberly banged down inside the 4 by Jordan Lomax and Louis Trinca-Passat.
All right, Jordan Lomax goes from corner last year to safety. You rarely see that because a lot of times corners aren't the most physical guys. Well, he breaks that mold. Jordan Lomax will come up and whack you, just like he did. He's a good football player.
When he got hurt at the beginning of last year, they put Desmond King, the true freshman, in the lineup. King was terrific. So he wasn't going to lose that spot. Lomax became a safety, and he's becoming a good one. They fake the inside handoff to Wimberly. Now Richardson down at the 1-yard line. Nate Meyer stopped him, and a huge 3rd down and goal for the Cyclones with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Down 14-3.
The great defensive coordinator Norm Parker now to Phil Parker. They're still the same. Disciplined, they don't make mistakes, and they understand route progression, and they did a great job of jumping routes on that vital 2nd down play.
Option. Richardson to the goal line. No signal from the officials of a touchdown. They're going to mark him down short. And a decision for Paul Rhodes. And interesting, Chris, we haven't seen Devondrick Neely since he fumbled for the 2nd time. Ordinarily, he'd probably be in there.
Yeah, well,
they've had trouble in short yard running situations all season long. It really hurt them a couple of times last week. They had a chance to run out the game against K-State.
He's going under center, so you got to be alert, sneak. They don't like to operate under center. Could be a problem with the exchange.
Neely still not in the game. Oh, they throw a pass, and Bibbs caught the ball. He was wide open, but Richardson threw it short, and Bibbs used all of that 6'3" frame to catch the ball. And undoubtedly this will be reviewed. The official right there had a great view of it, but did he catch it before it hit the ground?
Yes, that's a great catch. What a play.
Got the hands underneath the ball.
Yeah, and
what a disaster that would have been if he hadn't made the catch. The crowd doesn't think he did, but I agree with you. I think he got his hands under the ball. 15 straight games with a catch, so they take advantage of the interception, their first takeaway of the year, and they turn it into 7 points as Cole Netton adds the extra point. Mark Mangino said Bibbs might be the best tight end he's coached in 32 years of coaching. The interception by Mutcherson, and then they go 32 yards in 6 plays for Paul Rhodes. Here Iowa State's within 4 with 6:50 to go in the third quarter. Cole Netton kicks off to Jordan Canzeri. He's down at the 23. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. 14-10, Iowa leading. Bullock off the left side for 5 on first down. All right, Chris, how many stadia are named after Heisman Trophy winners?
Is that for me or Todd?
Well, you don't know because you didn't cheat.
That'd be 3.
No, you see, you didn't cheat.
No,
You're wrong.
I didn't.
This is the only one. He won the Heisman, the Walter Camp, and the Maxwell Trophy, 1939.
I happen to be counting high school stadiums, so I think I'm correct.
Well, you're still mad the horseshoe was in Spielman Stadium.
Yes.
Perhaps someday. Bullock carries for a first down. That'll likely be the last play of the quarter. They don't have to snap it again. Jevin Miller made the tackle.
Little rhythm with Bullock. The offensive line is starting to reestablish a line of scrimmage. They pride themselves in getting stronger as the game goes longer.
Wear people down, leaning on that offensive line and on the power run game. Paul Rhodes and Wally Burnham have to be pleased. The run defense, a disaster in the first 2 games, has been much better today. There's the Cy Hawk Trophy that'll go to the winner of this game, part of the Iowa Corn Cy Hawk series involving all of the sports that these 2 schools play against each other. The touchdown on the great catch by Bibb has made it a 1-score game. Iowa trying to go to 3-0. Iowa State's 0-2, looking for its first win of the year after a heartbreaking loss at home last week against ranked Kansas State, which was number 20 as they came to Ames. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, and Todd McShay. Hopefully Stormy finds the weather okay here this week after he whined about the drizzle last week in Tulsa. We haven't heard Todd complain. Maybe the sun's too bright today. But
That's the upset of the week, that Todd did complain about the weather.
Jake Rudock on 1st and 10, crosses midfield and then slides down before he got corralled by T.J. Mutcherson. What are you thinking, Stormy?
Well, for starters, it's real easy to pick fights when you know that the guy downstairs that you're picking fights with has his mic closed. Secondly, it's almost frustrating watching Iowa offensively, because when they've stuck with the running game early in this game, they were wearing down Iowa State, but since then it's like they've gotten away from it. I think they're going to start focusing on the rush as we go in this last quarter in their last 2 or 3 possessions.
Bullock, do stick with the run. Jevin Miller made the stop. Here's a big 3rd down. A minute into the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 2.
It's a chance for the Cyclone defense to step up. They struggled in rush defense all year. Now you got to make something happen. 4th quarter, rivalry game. What are you going to do?
They play power football, and Weissman picks it up. Upended by Kamari Cotton Moya, but it's a 1st down for the Hawkeyes.
Again, it's that surge of the offensive line. Good double team between Sean Wealth and Austin Blythe, number 63 and 79, pushing the nose out of there, creating a bubble for Weissman to hit and get the 1st.
Five-man rush. Rudock dumps it off short. Tight end John Kenny, his first touch of the year. The fullback, inverted linebacker. Tackled by Mitchell Myers and Jevin Miller.
Now we're seeing a lot of 2 tight ends because of, as you mentioned, Sean, making Pleva, the real fullback, out with a shoulder injury. They adjust. Been doing it a long time, Coach Ferenson's staff.
3 receivers set for the Hawkeyes now on 2nd and 8. Damon Bullock, the running back.
Oh, he missed a cutback. Wow, did he miss a cutback?
And he paid the price as he got hit hard by Nigel Tribune.
You're going to see it open right here. Watch right here and here. This is the spot he should hit. And there's a hole, and he runs right into the defender. You got to follow the guys that have the biggest yellow pants on. Guess what? They're going to clear a path for you. Trust it.
Well, they're trying to get the run going. They've run 40 times today, but have gained only 115 yards rushing. There's the 41st run of the day. Bullock spun down, crowd getting frustrated. They're not used to seeing this.
3rd and 7. Come on, throw the ball. Play to win. Play not to lose. Play to win. And that's a very conservative call when you have some matchups that you like, especially Martin Manley against the linebacker out in that slot.
They told us Marshall Kane has the leg to make one from beyond 50, and this would be about a 53-yarder from here into what little breeze there is. But with their field goal problems, Dylan Kidd is going to punt. Jarvis West back deep. A fair catch made at the 8. Kidd's done a very nice job in the situational punting today. 28-yarder. Timeout. Sam Richardson starts this possession from his own 8. The swing pass. Jarvis West out to the 14. Quality gain of 6 on 1st down. Quentin Alston made the tackle with help from John Loudermilk. Richardson in his half now is 11 for 12 for 81 yards and a touchdown.
Okay, good decisions. Very accurate with the football today. I would keep working the backs on linebackers. Linebackers are playing a soft zone. Let them run option routes. They've been moving the football when they choose to do that.
Richardson over the middle and caught by Alan Lazard. 1st down. Well, last week, Richardson at one point against K-State completed 14 in a row. He's very accurate.
It's a nice job of Lazard keeping that streak alive a little bit by adjusting his hips, knowing he's going to take a shot coming across the middle and able to secure the football. It's a gutsy play. Big old split between the guard and center down at the bottom of your screen.
Trying to run through it was Wimberly, a short gain, about 2.
That'd be a tough loss for Michigan if that would happen.
Yep. Richardson deep down the field, and West couldn't hang on. He got hit hard at the end of it. Whoa, and there's a flag down, perhaps for a targeting foul.
Well, I watched this unfold, Sean, and Lomax, I think from what I saw from up here, his leg will catch him in the head. I think that's what happened, and we'll be able to see it here in a minute, but he did take a shot to the head.
Personal foul. Targeting on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down. The play is under review.
With Jordan Lomax right there in the slot, is going to run an in route. Maben's going to break, and Lomax is coming over. Oh, it looks like maybe his form did catch him in the head, but Maben is bringing him down, so he's trying to turn his head away from the target. Yeah, he did catch him in the head. And that's tough because he's coming down. And watch Lomax lower his head.
After further review, the targeting foul is confirmed. Number 27 is disqualified.
Blows to the head for both the defensive player and the offensive player. But at the same time, there's that old aspect of the football part of it, and a lot of times they're trying to avoid that contact, and somebody ducks, and then you have that kind of contact, and it's unintentional, but
that's the way it is.
It gets called. So Lomax is gone for the game. Anthony Gare doesn't play very much, is in at his safety position. That's a big loss. Here comes Gare up to make the tackle. Sophomore from Plano, Texas. And Lomax is leaving the field.
A nice job by Gare of recognizing the option and automatically knowing that he becomes the pitch defender from 14 yards off. Did a good job of covering space in an open field tackle.
It's his first tackle of the season. 2nd and 6 from their own 46. 9.5 minutes to go. Cyclones down by 4. Richardson's played very well. Throws, caught, 1st down. It's E.J. Bibbs again.
There's a reason why McShay has him number 4 on his tight ends list. Right here, they're going to run a wheel route. He recognizes not there, then he'll come back and work back to your quarterback. That's experienced wide receiver, and a nice job of Bibbs of going up and snatching the ball with the strong hands.
Mark Mangino raves about Bibbs' athleticism. Said he could be a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver. Richardson had to throw that one away. Loves the attitude. He said in 32 years of coaching, Bibbs is the first player I've ever coached who probably shakes my hand about 15 times a day, always coming up to me on the practice field. Very engaging young man. First team preseason All Big 12. One of their team tri-captains, JC transfer from Arizona Western. 2nd and 10. Iowa brings a blitz. It was picked up. And the pass caught by Brett Metters, and there's another high hit by the other safety, John Loudermilk.
A rare blitz by Iowa. Richardson exploits it. John Loudermilk comes off of his guy. His head's up. Now the receiver is slipping right here. You'll see him slip, and it's close. But John's eyes were up. His eyes were up. That could be the difference maker. He didn't duck his head. His eyes stayed up, which might have saved him.
They're trying to get rid of the using your crown of your helmet as the lead. 3rd down and 3, perhaps 4 down territory. Richardson has running room to the right. That's a great block from Bibbs, has the 1st down.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time where Iowa loses contain. Number 34, Nate Meyer, has to keep that ball inside. He jumps inside. Richardson reads it, gets it blocked, like you said, by E.J. Bibbs, who turns from a receiver to a blocker, allowing Richardson to get the 1st. You got to stay disciplined in your pass rush lanes. That's what they coach, and that's what they preach. I'll tell you, that Iowa State offensive line has done a good job for the most part in pass pro all day, Sean.
Devondrick Neely's back on the field now after a couple of fumbles. We've hardly seen him. Richardson throwing deep for Neely. Hangs on to that one for a touchdown. And the lead for Iowa State. We think that's the first play since the 2nd fumble in which Neely has taken part. And what a time to put him back in. Clearly they had that play designed for him, and they executed perfectly. And now the extra point good from Cole Netton into the all-straight Netton. And it's a 3-point game. With 7.5 minutes to go, they went 92 yards. They fought. And they went flying into the end zone on the legs of Neely. At the end of the 3rd quarter on the field, the 2004 Iowa Hawkeye team honored 10th anniversary of their Big Ten championship, which they shared with Michigan. They went on to play LSU in the Capital One Bowl and won the game. You might remember on the last play of the game on a 56-yard pass, Drew Tate to Warren Holloway, was only career touchdown reception. Good time to get it. Good time for Devondrick Neely to get into the end zone. Iowa State leads for the first time today, midway through the 4th quarter. Here's Jonathan Parker. These Iowa players have had a hard time staying on their feet. I think the officials will be glad when this day is over. Some games are uneventful. This has had its share, including the targeting penalty was a big part of the Iowa State go-ahead drive. They went 92 yards. Cavante Martin-Manley made the catch, chased out by Kenneth Lynn, and Iowa picked up 8 yards on that play. 9, call it. 2nd and 1. Similar situation to last week when Iowa trailed 13-10, drove down in the final minutes, scored a touchdown to win. We asked Kirk Ferentz yesterday as Weissman gets the 1st down, then gets driven back. if they had been stopped and were forced to try a field goal to tie the game at 13, would he have done that or just gone for the first down? He said, no, at some point you have to trust in the kickers and kick the field goal. But he passed up a 33-yard attempt earlier this game and went for it on 4th and 8. They actually converted. It'll be interesting to see, Chris, if they get a similar situation on this drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the decision he has to make. And eventually you do have to trust your young kicker to either tie a game or win a game for you.
Rudock throws, caught. Tavon Smith, the big gainer across midfield to the Cyclone 45-yard line. The players for Iowa State are saying the ball is out, and now the official is pointing that it's Iowa State ball. Boy, it took forever if that's the call, and a very nonchalant one at that. Jevin Miller picks it up.
The fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Iowa State.
Yeah, I think he's down,
boy.
Sean.
Yeah, it looked like he was down and rolled over, unless the ball was starting to come out as Miller.
The previous play ruling of a catch and a fumble recovered by the defense is under further
He
review.
still had the ball until
His right knee is going to hit right here. Right there, the right knee is down right
still has
now.
the ball. I think.
The receiver's knee was on the ground before he lost possession of the ball. It's first down, Iowa, at the defense's 45-yard line.
Well, for more than 4 decades, from the mid-1930s to 1977, they didn't play. There's some concern that if these conferences add more conference games, that this rivalry could go away again. It's been made much more competitive in recent years. Iowa won 15 in a row, a streak that ended in an upset in 1998. Paul Rhodes was on the Iowa State staff as an assistant to Dan McCarney. Rudock throws it away. Jevin Miller was in hot pursuit. Boy, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's all over the place, along with Drake Furch, who forced Rudock out. And they can come with a rare zone blitz. Wally doesn't like to do this much out in the field, but Furch is coming off the zone blitz, defeats his man one-on-one, forces Rudock out. A good decision by Rudock. Don't force it, throw it away, live to fight another down.
2nd and 10. Rudock is 15 for 21 for 137 yards and an interception. He's on target to Tavon Smith, who gets 9. You know, they want to run the ball. That's who they are. That's who they've been. But right now they can't. And they're actually pretty good at throwing the ball. And you wonder if, even though there's plenty of time to keep trying to run, they need to lean more heavily on the pass.
They do, and everybody knows that they're trying to run the football, and they're not doing a good job. And the reason being, the offensive line's doing well, Sean. They don't have a shake and bake in the backfield. They don't. That guy cannot make anybody miss. You have to be accountable for a man if you're running back. Iowa does not have that man.
3rd down, a short 2. Weissman excels in these situations. First down to the 31-yard line, where Drake Furch had the misfortune of running into the rock-solid Weissman.
Yeah, this is just north and south. John Kenny with a good lead block, playing fullback. Weissman, again, always falling forward. That's what they have. But in order to be an explosive running team, you need a guy that can shake and make a guy miss. They don't have it. They got 5 deep on that running back chart, but not one of them makes a guy miss consistently.
Ticking down to 5 minutes to go. Jake Rudock off short through the hands of Weissman. Here's Reese Davis.
All right, Sean, good one in Williams-Brice Stadium, South Carolina and Georgia, 14-13. Dylan Thompson is balling. He finds Rory Anderson for the score. Head ball coach up 21-13. Dylan Thompson's already thrown for more than 200 yards and 3 scores.
Kind of had the feeling that South Carolina was going to come out and play well after getting hammered by A&M.
And struggling against East Carolina.
Yeah.
2nd and 10, under 5 minutes to go. Again, they're in field goal range for Kane. He has a long enough leg. The question is, would they try it? Damon Bullock, the ball carrier. It's the freshman Mick Ellis who's attempted only one college field goal. True freshman, recruited on scholarship out of Allen, Texas. He missed a 29-yarder last week when he got thrown into the game against Ball State after Kane had missed a couple of the shorties.
Now, the last few third downs, Iowa's elected to go conservative and run it. I predict they got to throw it. Get the ball out in space.
On 3rd and 5, they're trying to throw. Rudock throws incomplete. They want a flag, and they won't get one. Sam E. Richardson, the coverage on Jacob Hilliard.
Sam's looking around. They run a little bit of a bunch route. Good job by Richardson to closing on Hilliard and coming across with the long arm, not grabbing with the left arm, which is the tendency to do in that type of situation.
Well, they're going to try a field goal, but the kicker isn't on the field.
Kane, I think
they're trying to decide which kicker it should be. And Kane has the stronger leg, Kirk Ferentz told us yesterday, so they run him out. They should call a timeout, I would think, Chris. I mean, it's a pressure-packed enough situation for this young man. High snap, and he made it from 44 yards. Maybe that's what they ought to do every time, have a fire drill when he can't get out there and think about it. He was 2 for 5 in field goals. Prior to that one, had lost his job as the starter last week, and now he drills one from 44 to tie it.
Well, he snapped hooked it too. That started way outside the fairway. Ends up splitting it right down the middle on the short grass.
Marshall Kane just kicked a field goal from 44 yards to tie it with 4:08 to go. And a touchback. Well, they bypassed a shorter field goal earlier because of their field goal problems this year. And Mick Ellis was going to be the kicker today. Play clock running down. The Holder Dillon kid wondering where's the kicker. Both kickers start running on the field. We saw Ellis, the freshman, the bottom of your screen, warming up, but Kane has the longer leg, and he kicked it from 44 yards.
I mean, he made an outstanding point, Sean. The fact that he went out there, he didn't have time to think about it, not even trust himself. Just go kick the ball and have fun, and he did. He drilled that football through the uprights.
So it's a tie game, and the ball back with Sam Richardson, who's 15 for 17 in this half with 2 touchdowns. He'd almost have a perfect game today if he took away the drops. Very close to it. Aaron Wimberly drags tacklers across the 30. Here's Todd.
We have an update on the wide receivers for Iowa State. P.J. Harris, who went out earlier, he's out for the remainder of the game with an ankle injury. And Jarvis West, their star wide receiver, concussion-like symptoms, he's out. In addition, obviously, to Quentin Bundridge, who they lost the season-ending injury in the first game of the year.
So Bibbs and Lazard play big right now, and the matchup between running backs on linebackers.
They're deep down the depth chart at wide receiver. That ball almost intercepted. Instead, it's caught by Alan Lazard, and he's out of bounds with a first down at the 41, yanked out by Desmond King.
Well, Bo Bauer had a chance to be a hero.
Ooh.
Right there, just a little late with his head around, and great concentration. Now, this is not easy to catch a ball tip that's coming at you 90 miles per hour. Lazard focused in. He's the star now.
Yeah,
he and Bibbs have to step up.
Highly recruited player, true freshman from Urbandale, Iowa. He was a USA Today high school All-American, highly recruited. Wimberly across the 45 to the 46 before he got spun around by Nate Meyer and Reggie Spearman. 3 minutes to go. 3 timeouts for the Cyclones and 2 for the Hawkeyes.
Iowa State's kicker kicked his career long this football game, so he has confidence going into this end.
Cole Netton is their kicker. Had a good freshman year a year ago, but struggled on the longer kicks. Made a 47-yarder today. Too high to handle for Aaron Wimberly. And an enormous 3rd down and 5 from their own 46-yard line for Iowa State.
Sean, this is where they have to get it for Iowa State. You have to get the matchup with Wimberly on a linebacker. That's been successful, especially in these short yardages. Plus, your big-time wide receivers are out of the ball game. So look for Wimberly matched up against Alston, number 52, to try to work him in the middle of the field.
The backup safety Gare in for the ejected Lomax, trying to help align the defense. They rushed 5 and didn't get there, and it's a first down. Brett Metters across midfield to the Iowa 47.
You know, one man's loss, another man's opportunity. Take the opportunity, Metters. First of all, it's a nice route, understands where the sticks are, does not work back to the ball because he wants to stay beyond the sticks. But when you get a ball perfectly thrown, you'll make a play for your teammates.
Sam Richardson, third string quarterback in the spring. The coaches were really down on him. He won the job with a great performance in the summer, and he's been tremendous today. Wimberly carries. Gare made the tackle. And we're going to go under 2 minutes to play in regulation before they snap it again. .255 yards for Richardson. Adds up to 25 out of 35. From the 43. 4-man rush. They didn't get close, and it's just over the head of Brett Metters. It looked like he was moving open along the near sideline.
Notice his defensive line for Iowa is gassed. We talked to Drew Ott, their defensive end, yesterday, and he said, you know, I've played all but about 2 or 3 plays in the first 2 games. They don't rotate guys a lot, and it's really affecting their ability to get to the quarterback as pass rushers.
Especially in 2-minute drill where everything is pass rush, Todd, and that can drain you in a heartbeat. They don't have the depth on the front that they'd like to develop as the year progresses.
Well, they're all crowding up around the line. The middle of that defense just beyond the line of scrimmage would be wide open. Richardson on 3rd and 6, incomplete, looking for Bibbs, is looking for a flag, and they'll get it. Josie Jewell, a backup linebacker, redshirt freshman, who's played very little.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 43, defense, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, Sean, he's in good position, too. It's a matchup that Iowa State runs. You want Bibbs on a linebacker. Now watch what happens. He's in good position. Now, if he grabs some cloth, let's see. Man, I don't know if that's holding or you have your hands on him, but I didn't see a clear hold in that. That's a tough call. Maybe the hook.
Looked like he might have the right arm around his waist. They're just about at the edge of field goal range. I think Paul Rhodes would try it from here if he had to. Wimberly, the ball carrier. Louis Trinca-Passat made the tackle, and the timeout called for an injured player, Daniel Burton, their right guard. So there's Netton, who hadn't even attempted a field goal in the first 2 games. The team did not try any field goals. 2nd and 8, inside handoff, and they lose a yard or 2 as Wimberly got smacked by Nate Meyer.
It's an outstanding job of tackling. Eyes up, head up, bring your feet. Nate Meyer coming on a little twist and staying upright and hitting high. Also coming in to help is Trinca-Passat, or Drew Ott, excuse me, from his defensive end.
Chris, if I'm Iowa, I think about using a timeout here. I mean, you're running the risk of Iowa State kicks a field goal with 30 seconds to go and you have no time left.
I think
looked like there was movement along the line of scrimmage. There is a flag down. Wimberly carries to the 30, and that could be a huge penalty against Iowa. If they get to repeat the down and get a couple of extra yards, they would have had to try a 47-yard field goal if that play stood.
Boy, this is tough too. The head linesman indicated early on with an offside call.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
Replay, 3rd down.
Anthony Gare coming up from a safety position, trying to get a jump on the football. Yeah, he's offsides.
But last year, Netton missed 5 field goals. 4 of them were from 42 yards and beyond. His longest last year was 41 yards when he went 13 out of 18, but he struggled on the long ones. How will they play it on 3rd down and 4, and the clock is running? Wimberly the back, 3 receivers. Iowa up there trying to stuff the run. Wimberly gets it more toward the center of the field. Looks like he has the first down, but we're down to 7 seconds to go.
Oh, nice job by the Cyclone offensive line.
Well, it's not a first down now. They moved it back a yard. So here comes Cole Netton to try to win it. The only try this year, the 47-yarder. Earlier in this game, his career long. Sophomore from Ankeny, Iowa. Not far from the campus in Ames. These two schools about a 2-hour and 15-minute drive apart. This is the kind of kick, if you make it, that has your name mentioned for decades to come.
Austin Fisher was his holder in high school. They've been working together a long time.
42-yard attempt. Snap and hold are good, and there's a whistle, I believe, before the kick. The kick was no good, but I think Kirk Ferentz used his timeout. He did. Timeout, Iowa. The kick was missed, but it doesn't count.
Sean, he missed it left. So sometimes you're going to see Coach Ferentz right here working with the referee, telling him he's going to call timeout before the kick. Right there he does. I just want to make this point. Sometimes when a young kicker, he misses left, sometimes he'll overcompensate and miss right on the next one. Let's see if he can regather his steps and thoughts. And yeah, that was close.
Anybody who plays golf can relate to that. You hook or pull one, tend to block the next one. He's a good kicker, had a very solid freshman year, as we mentioned last year. No timeouts left for Iowa. They can't do that again. Snap and hold are good again. This time it is right down the middle. Seconds to go, and the Cyclones are 2 seconds away from winning in Kinnick Stadium for the second time in 3 years. The last time they played here in 2012. They went out of here with a 9-6 win. You anticipate a bunch of laterals here by Iowa. Perfect execution by Iowa State. Took more than 4 minutes off the clock to take the lead. Here come the laterals. Jonathan Parker. They're in trouble already. Vandenberg couldn't handle it, and it winds up in the hands of the kicker, Cole Netton. A fitting finish to this one. Wonder if that's ever happened in the history of the football. You kick the winning field goal with 2 seconds to go, and then you recover a fumble to clinch it on the last play of the game.
Just impressed he was down there trying to get in the mix. Big win for Coach Rhodes in the Cyclone program.
After everything it seemed had gone wrong, boy, was Richardson terrific today, and they carry away the Cy-Hawk Trophy. They'll take it back to Ames, about 130 miles from here. But they were 0-2, Chris. They had the heartbreaking loss last week against K-State, a game they easily could have won. They've had a bunch of injuries, and more of them today, that took away some of their biggest weapons. But as they've done so often in 6 years under Paul Rhodes, they found a way to win, but it seemed like so much was against them. Todd?
Well, Coach, all the wide receiver injuries you've had, it seems like you're able to find some tight end, running back mismatches. What did you find offensively in the second half?
Well, perseverance by the team. Staff, kids, hung together. A full belief that we could get it done. A bunch of guys making plays. I looked out there at the end. We had a true freshman. We had a walk-on at one of the slots. I think we had 2 seniors out on the field. A bunch of guys just stuck together and played hard.
Talk to me about Sam Richardson's development, I guess, over the first 3 games of the season.
Really coming on. I said a week ago after the loss against Kansas State, first 2 games of the year, he played his best games as an Iowa State Cyclone, and the next week he'd play his best game as a Cyclone. I really believe he did that. He's really growing up and maturing.
And Cole Netton, obviously your kicker, misses the one with the timeout called, and then the courage to go and make that kick.
So sometimes you're better off lucky to get something like that. Got it out of his system. The second one looked beautiful.
Thanks, Coach. Sean?
Donnie Duncan, how about you?
Well, there's a reason why he's so popular among Cyclone Nation. Paul Rhodes brings great energy. A lot of us got to know him when he gave that speech. I'm so proud to be your coach after a big win. I have a feeling it'll be a very emotional, similar speech in that dressing room tonight. Final score 20-17. The Cyclones are winners. USC and Boston College tonight on ESPN. Now back to the studio.